What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here with the latest update for Madden 20. Gonna go over the biggest changes in the roster that just dropped yesterday. Who is going up the most? Who's going down the most? I know you guys love to stay up to date with these types of things, especially the roster updates. You always have your input on who's not getting their, fair share of love, who's getting, downgraded too much. So we're going to go over that today. If you are new to the channel and you want to stay up to date on all the latest Madden news and tips and everything in between, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss any of the uploads. So the biggest riser this week is none other than Russell Wilson, and I think that makes a lot of sense how, he's been playing lately. He's been going crazy, and he's right there with Mahomes as, the leading MVP candidate so far. It says here, following an outstanding performance on Thursday night against the Rams in Week 5, Russell Wilson will enjoy his third Madden ratings bump of the season, further solidifying his standing as a top 5 rated quarterback in Madden 20 and a superstar X Factor. He threw 4 TD passes, which gives him 12 on the season, and hasn't thrown an interception yet. Now, if you look, Russell Wilson is now the third highest rated quarterback in Madden 20. Obviously, Mahomes is still 99, Brady's still 98. I would expect to see Brady come back down a little bit next week, because the last 3 weeks he hasn't been playing, like 2 out of the last 3 games he hasn't been playing amazing by any stretch. Didn't have a great game against the Bills, didn't have too great of a game last night against the Giants. And honestly, right now, Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes are far and away the 2 best QBs in the league. It's them two and it's everybody else, right? You still got your Brady, your Breeze, your Rodgers type guys who are still very good, but right now, Russell Wilson and Patrick Mahomes are just a cut above everybody else in terms of what they can do and, what they are doing with the ball. So I would expect Russell Wilson to soon be the number 2 rated QB in the game, because that's honestly what he should be. Like I said, Brady's still great, but I could see him dropping down a little bit. Going on, you could see here Russell Wilson is now a 95 overall. He started the year as a 91 overall. So he's going up 4 overall points in just 5 weeks of play. That's pretty good, but he definitely deserves it. He has been balling out. Kris Carson, a lot of Seahawks fans were mad when Kris Carson got dropped down 2 overall points a few weeks ago. Now he's bumping back up. He also had a really big game, that last Thursday against the Rams. Both, receiving the ball and running the ball. It says, the path to redemption in Madden ratings is a grind, but Kris Carson is back in the good graces of the Madden ratings adjusters following his Week 5 performance against the Rams. The Seattle back piled up 118 rush yards and scored a receiving touchdown last week, marking his second straight 100-yard game and second straight game without a fumble after 3 weeks in a row with a lost fumble. So you can see here Kris Carson's awareness and overall set for an uptick after stringing together a couple of solid games. So now he is an 86 overall. Week prior, he was an 85. He actually started the year as an 87, so he's still kind of working his way back up a little bit, but he's in the right direction now. He's moving in the right direction. Christian McCaffrey, this should be no surprise either, because Christian McCaffrey has been killing it this year. As it stands right now, I don't think many people could argue that he's not right now playing as like the best back in the league. He's doing it all. He is even in the MVP conversation right now. Now, of course, you're not really going to see him win it. Running backs will rarely ever win this. Like I said, it's Mahomes and Russell Wilson and everybody else in terms of MVP conversation right now. But Christian McCaffrey is getting talked about in that conversation because of how good he's been. Here it says, coming off his best game of the season, Christian McCaffrey is in the running for early MVP candidates in the NFL, a rarity for a running back. The Panthers' back was a thrill to watch on Sunday as he rumbled through defenders for 176 rushing yards and 2 rushing scores, adding 61 receiving yards and a TD through the air. He's now averaging 5.6 yards per carry on the season, and if you have him on your fantasy team, you're in good shape. A well-deserved bump in his Madden 20 ratings is in the offing. So you can see he's a 93 overall now, going up 1 overall. He started the year as a 91. I would expect to see him keep moving up if he keeps playing like this. Currently, this is where he ranks with the top running backs in Madden, which I think is about right. But I would expect to see him keep moving up if he keeps playing like this, because, like I said, right now, if you're just going off of this season through 5 weeks, he's the best running back right now, and it doesn't even particularly seem to be very close. He's been that good. Dalvin Cook, obviously, he's been really, really good as well this year, so he's probably the next best running back so far this year. Now, the Week 6 fallers. Baker Mayfield, I think a lot of people saw this coming. Struggling a little bit. Some of it, I don't think it's all due to him. His offensive line is definitely not helping him out. The play calling, like the Browns don't seem to have much of an identity right now, and that makes it tough on your QB because defenses can kind of it's easy for defenses to kind of lock you up. It says here, it's been an up and down year so far for the offseason hype machine Cleveland Browns, but Baker Mayfield, it's been mostly a down year. He's coming off of a Week 5 game in which he failed to throw a TD pass and has yet to throw more than one in a single game. Meanwhile, Mayfield has tossed 8 interceptions in just 5 games, which is more than any QB in the NFL. So, you could see here, he's at 80 overall. He went down 2 overall points. Last week, he was at 82. He started the year as at 83. So, he's down 3 overall points on the year. Tough going for Baker, but hopefully he can get it back together and bounce back. Leighton Vander Esch. Now I'm going to say this is one I do not agree with, and I'm going to tell you why. So first we'll read it, and then I'll tell you why. It says, after an outstanding rookie season, Cowboys second-year linebacker Leighton Vander Esch has earned himself an 86 overall rating when Madden 20 launched. But after his Week 5 game against the Packers that was littered with missed tackles, he was part of the problem for the Dallas defense, allowing 4 rushing touchdowns to running back Aaron Jones. The poor performance was an outlier for Vander Esch, but the Madden ratings adjusters are taking note ahead of Week 6. So, he came into the year as an 86. He went down 1 overall this week now to an 85. The reason I don't agree with this is because, yes, last week was without a doubt Leighton Vander Esch's worst game as a pro in his first 2 years in the league. Definitely was his worst game, but it's one bad game. He's been amazing. He's been great in most of the games he's played. He's been solid. He hasn't had many games where you could even just say it was average. He was good. He has one really, really bad game, and they drop him one. And that one I don't really agree with, but I don't know. Because it's like, for all the good games he was having early in the season, he didn't get bumped up one, but then he had the one bad game, and he went down one. So sometimes it just kind of seems like some of this kind of just goes on the fly, and they don't really have rhyme or reason sometimes. But that's just how I see it. Tyler Eifert continues to go down as well. It says when the Bengals receiving corps went down, the Bengals receiving corps down to its 4th stringers due to a slew of injuries. Tight end Tyler Eifert was expected to pick up some of the slack in the passing game in Week 5 against a soft Arizona secondary. That was not the case, however, as Eifert managed just 2 receptions for 14 yards in the game. Eifert used to be one of the premier red zone weapons, but he suffered a bunch of injuries throughout his career, and he just can't get the ball like he used to. As a result, his Madden 20 rating is slipping for the 3rd time this season. So he's down to an 85 overall. Last week he was, I don't know, it says he was 85, and I guess he went down to 83, but I think this graphic is wrong because it's saying 85 last week and then 85 this week. But he started the year at 88, so he's really, really going down. But that's not the biggest necessarily risers and movers this week because these are just the ones that EA decided to touch on. So now let's talk about the everybody else. So obviously Russell Wilson actually is the biggest riser this week with +2. We talked about Christian McCaffrey +1. Here are all the other +1s this week. Adam Thielen going up +1, which is funny because last week he went down 1. Diggs went up 1. Despite Thielen having the better year so far. Kind of didn't make sense. This week, Thielen goes up 1, but Diggs is going down 1, which you'll see in a minute when we get to that part. So that's kind of weird. Not really sure what's going on there. But everybody else that's +1, Amari Cooper had a big game. Dalvin Cook having a great season. He's up 1. Akeem Hicks, Tyrann Mathieu, Justin Houston, Marlon Humphrey having a good year. He's +1. Danielle Hunter, Stephon Tuitt, Kris Carson, who we already talked about. Cooper Kupp, Matt Breida with his big game goes up +1. Chris Godwin killing it this year. He's +1. Aaron Jones is +1 after his big game, of course. You got Ryan Kelly, Deshaun Watson, Will Fuller after his crazy game, and Jimmy Garoppolo. All of those people are going up +1. Now, who is going down? So like we said, we got some people that's going down a lot. So first we'll talk about all the -1s. You got Stephon Diggs, Ezekiel Elliott. I don't really agree with this one either. After the Saints game, I agreed with it. Yes, that was one of the worst games we've ever seen from him. He should have went down something for that game. But last week, he didn't really have a bad game. He didn't really he didn't touch the ball a whole lot because they kind of got in a hole pretty early. But when he did touch the ball, he was fine. His yards per carry was good. Like, he did enough with the touches he got. So I'm not sure why he's going down 1. But that's what it is. Phillip Rivers is down 1. Mike Evans, after being shut out, he went down 1. Levante David, Melvin Gordon, Kyle Fuller, Delaney Walker, Jari Alexander kind of got beat by Cooper a little bit, so he's going down 1. Mike Daniels, Leighton Vander Esch, we already talked about. Marvin Jones, Demarius Randall, Desmond Trufant's down 1 again. He went down 2 last week. He goes down another 1 this week, so down 3 points in 2 weeks. James White goes down 1. Andrew Norwell goes down 1. Now for the -2 guys. Lamar Miller is down 2 overall. Not really sure why. He's injured, so like, I don't know. I get that he's injured, but I don't really understand the dropping him down. He didn't do anything. Like, if you were gonna drop him down before the season, you know, because nothing's happened between then and now. But again, I don't understand it. Dak Prescott's down 2. So after going up 2 a few weeks ago, I believe, now he's back down 2. So I know Cowboys fans are not gonna like it, but last few weeks, he hasn't been as good as he was when he started the season, so it is what it is. Baker Mayfield down 2, who we already talked about, and Sean Lee goes down 4 overall points. So something that I've noticed is very interesting about this update is all the Cowboy players that's going down, and we all know that the main ratings adjuster guy is a Cowboys fan, and people always kind of give him crap for that because they're like, oh, you always unfairly rate the Cowboys. So I just think it's funny to see Zeke and Vander Esch go down 1 when in reality I don't feel like they even, as a non-Cowboy fan, I don't feel like they deserve to go down 1 this week. You got Dak going down 2, which makes sense, and then you got Sean Lee going down 4. You very rarely see somebody go down 4 overall points or even 3 in a single week. The most you ever see plus or minus is typically 2. So to go down 4 is a lot, but those are the big ratings changes for this week. Gonna be back next week to let you know what's going on with that there should be another update coming very soon. I'll do a video on that this coming week talking about what to expect. We know the run game's getting tweaked and some other things, so there's a lot of big things that's gonna be happening soon. As always, you know, with Madden, every couple weeks they're making crazy changes, it seems like. So hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you did, as always, you know the drill. Just like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.